bathe in dark, deep waters. The sky is hot blue, like their eyes, glaring at me, ignoring history. The world now is falling upon my deaf ears, for reasons I shouldn't speak of. No poet knows how to articulate free speech, and if they learnt, they'll stop writing bountiful bouquets of poems. We are our choices expressed in actions, love in vice, resentful in virtues. Do I dare to continue to go further into ecstasy of personal awakening, or embellish in human life? Where glory there was my end game. But the world of the Illuminati is something not addictive. It's needed holy dogma, and now I understand why ignorance plagues mankind. Living within metaphors, absorbed by desire, raged war internally only. Mournful skin, missing Eden, acclaimed softly elements with constructed emotions, narrow eyes glare, trembling soul, too hard to contain. The famed problem of the artist's identity crisis, writing frightening poems, a series of paradoxes confront across one's own soul, perplex readers to the poems, wrecked and wild, bound to be evaporated into the ether, a place of worship for Muse's higher power. A place of worship for Muse's higher power. No illness in jealous. A quiet, muted stillness. Hypnotic inner world. Pausing to touch, pausing to listen to, pausing to gain an image inside for me to remember. Poetry. Any good poem. I want to dream about love. Everything about love, falling in love, loving back, being swept away in it all. And I can write the saddest poems based on past experiences, letting the tears be carried away and everyone be swept away in those sad feelings. Like hearing a violin concerto for the first time. I am your one and only. I can replace things, materials, replace job with job, even poetry. I cannot replace love. Leaning back, I like to think that I can love without knowing how. Just acting upon and finding love is the hard part. Finding one's own soul, lush under alive sunsets in this beautiful struggle. And in secret, I think that we all know who our soulmate is, and we're just afraid to speak up, causing heartache that reaches beyond humanity, that causes all our angels here to protect us to cry. Poetry cannot conquer all, testing waters. Poetry now has sadness in their bitter tears. Moonlight. I know how to love, but not everyone knows how to let me love them, and I'm 2 steps behind, to be left alone in this turning globe, tilting earth over my shoulders. Hello, stranger. Hello, stranger. Under crystallized moonlight, shining, forgetting one's own personal history at the sound of a pin dropping and becoming dirt poor in human material ways, and in essence being replaced in awakening ways, delighted to be forever mystical now. That's if one is brave enough to fall in love truly and outside of poets had always described and on the same level of any muse. Shaking everything in existence to its core, and each rule to this planet stop their jealousy and begin to become fellowers between two lovers, and I can write the saddest lines. Changing the future of this humanity, and perhaps the rapture will not take place. And if I go, do not look for me, for I have gone to discuss the purpose of deity, all because I had found love and transcended everything that humans are known for, and this is necessary for me. But tonight is not the time to do so, for I can write the saddest lines, tearing apart anyone who dares to read them. For I have not found love. As for going into exile, for it looks tempting, and if I go, people will call suicide. And if I stay, for I am certain with failing, closing the gaps to murder. I should devote my own time to call peace between my internal struggle. Poetic words, potent for thinking philosophers, and as for artists, something to awe and gasp over, as the words shock the common man, for my status may be determined by my own thinking. As paradise resents awareness, wanting to keep the grandiose actions to what highlights us, and throwing the rest away, if the infinite wishes upon me not to be known, I should prevent to think, I remain a paradox to those I dare to open up around. Running to walk, back and forth in the darkness, searching for the light, knowing it's somewhere, yearning to outgrow this world so that I can escape it, correcting original sin. My own death will only take me out of this world, as my words left to whisper in this quiet wind. Just cries from the mystery. Do I dare help philosophy to reform humanity? Or let it be and be burdened to live alone, writing the saddest life, departing from here with unfinished business? The right time to be honest to anyone and everything is always now, and never at any other point. Oh, how I cry upon never finding a poem, a symphony, or a painting, not even a film that I yet have seen a pagan in long passages of time. I wonder where they're at. Cross across the belly. Who's the best? There is none. A person will not be ashamed to wish for love. Falling in love, kindly, control grin of guilt before eating the apple. Fearing in violent idleness, a style, becoming idle, breaking bread with kings and fornicating in passionate affairs with queens, kicking knowledge to the ether, put it together. I rock princes. You sock with dirt in front of commoners. You're dying in regret. Something you tried to ignore. Now life murders you on your own shit. For in the search originality of working and developing one's own character holds nothing else but divine presence once found. Something to be considered the meaning of wanting one's illumination. It's insatiable. And God has many names and twice as many faces. For what it is, it's always been inside. Intelligent and poetic, waiting patiently. And there you go. It's how I want to die. Exploding into a million seeds with the power of a burning supernova, leaving a trail of cosmic beauty. Though if human desires became too strong, kill me in my sleep. Spontaneous, erratic romance, in effort to tame wild love, knowing full well that it won't be, even if forever is blessed upon, changing moods, like the people of indigo. For if it's lust, it will die out to the pace of a fading Roman candle, because it's intense and brightly glazes, attracting the eyes in the room. For if it is love, it burns, 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 shooting across your soul. And love has nothing else to do besides grow stronger in its seducing, illuminating love, addictive ecstasy. And the poets have nothing to do besides to stand in awe, not in the beauty of it, but to dwell in their own jealousy. For if anyone tells you different, their hearts had been burdened by sin, from one too many strokes, and to wander earth in utter bitterness of the normality of the mundane and the responsibilities that come with the structured routine. You don't want to throw it all away, shy on the first date, but love lives within the realm of forever. O poetry, O high art, please kill the unthinking pleasures of life, for they are worse than conversation about the pop. The pursuit of beauty, dangerous on the edge of ego. The pursuit of love, dangerous to what one has worked for outside of love, trying to stack a layman. Once there was a person who tried to pump me, but I hit them up, placed a wound in their chest and started to beg for mercy. The radical is as silent in their sullen ways. Living across a field of unfurled freedom. Death in splendor praised and welcomed. Exhausting madness. Never been broke or to be drained. In a space of paradox, breeding original individuality. Exulting. Working on a cult of genius to replace pagan gods. To churn feelings, perfume gloss, blushing, in a matter of romance in its fast-forming desires, Saddening how actions are always slightly behind. Beauty in potent poetic flows for cello concerto. A stranger to the outside world, and I do not mind. Rigid and altered since I left. A spectre, a secret. I'm in your blind sight. Lord, forgive them, for they try to kill me. I'll shoot them down until their eyes cannot open and their heart drops and sinks into the soil, where the rest will step over, without a thought or care, for they have never existed. Doubtless showering flowers, maybe the heavens are falling apart, fluent, and if they spoke in perfect articulated global accent, twisting the fabric of reality, veils of cloths of gold, gifts from the first gods. Rather shy and slightly remarkable, as you slowly get to know that remarkability grows. Delicate like honey. Eyes looking large, covering the world. Dark iris. Existential suffering.
Miracle of the Modern World. Poem by Darryl Glass. Violent mandates by the hands of fate. Brief encounters dictated by constellations. Cosmic bodies penetrating the great divide. Passing always through infinite space. Rippling light, both shiny and shimmery, ever-throbbing heart of Milky Way's bosom. As glittering sand passes through hourglass, the predestined moment draws near, aligning planets forever orbiting, growing, inflating, expanding, straining, rising, longing, bulging, pulsing, captivating, conforming, and merging. Lost worlds cast in a sea of stars, drifting amongst a great celestial ocean, waves peaking in graceful liaison. Mysterious rendezvous beyond the horizon. Silhouettes reflecting in morning dew, coupled with sweet honeysuckles scent. All creation, plants, birds, and animals, await consummation with bated anticipation. Phoenix, soaring, penetrating heat, embracing. A convulsing symphony of dancing light, then breaking into rhythmic crescendo, synchronously undulating and exploding. Fear, anger, sadness, joy, love, and hope. coalesce and cascade, dissolving regret. Natural tides swell, and hills tremble, moaning, quaking, relaxing, then silence. Destiny blazes a bright future, supernova. Although she timidly sheds tears, these are not the tears of sorrow, but of pure, passionate, climactic joy. Weeping through unbridled ecstasy, angels triumphantly sing in jubilation, permeating hope withstanding now. Rest with the glorious birth of a new star.
But don't they still get a piece?
Connecting ancient generations long past, shooting far across the distant night sky. Gentle rush filling every empty recess, every void with a comforting warm glow. Magnificent Apollo, roulette rolls 13, with bow drawn, missile
Display, physical element like display, physical element like display, physical element like display, physical element like display,
To various family members, the government gets but don't they still get a piece? They definitely get a piece. They get a piece. Not only do they get a piece, they get a piece for money that you've
best feels place with the place with once I'm walking the same railway lines, once I'm walking the same railway lines, invisible element. Once I'm walking the same, 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 once I'm walking the same railway lines, 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 sounds a little transformative. Now they are I've seen it. Railway lines, sounds a little transformative. So walking the disused railway.
At what point do you take responsibility? They try to say, they would be like, oh, it was a bunch of, I love the racist white guy thing, a bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going,
to various family members, the government gets a piece. But don't they still get a piece? They definitely get a piece. They get a piece. Not only do they get a piece,
Place where the bees love you. All of the pearls of the sea.
At what point do you take responsibility? They try to say, they would be like, oh, it was a bunch of, I love the racist white guys, a bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going, try.
Dionysos by Alistair Crowley. Read by Alexander Thomas Green. I bring ye wine from above, from the vats of the storied sun, for every one of your love, and life for every one. Ye shall dance on hill and level, ye shall sing in hollow and height, in the festal, mystical revel, the rapturous bacchanal rite. The rocks and trees are yours, and the waters under the hill, by the might of that which endures, the holy heaven of will. I kindle a flame like a torrent to rush from star to star. Your hair as a comet's horrent, ye shall see things as they are. I lift the mask of matter, I open the heart of man, for I am of force to shatter the cast that hideth Pan. Your loves shall lap up slaughter, and dabbled with roses of blood, each desperate darling daughter shall swim in the fervid flood. I bring ye laughter and tears, the kisses that foam and bleed, the joys of 1,000,000 years, the flowers that bear no seed. My life is bitter and sterile, its flame is a wandering star. Ye shall pass in pleasure and peril across the mystic bar that is set for wrath and weeping against the children of earth. But ye, in singing and sleeping, shall pass in measure and mirth. I lift my wand and wave you through hill to hill of delight. My rosy rivers lave you in innermost lustral light. I lead you, lord of the maze, in the darkness free of the sun. In spite of the spite that is days, we are wed, we are wild, we are one.
Supernova, dedicated to my parents. Poem by Darrell Glass. Worlds bound in a sea of stars, drifting amongst a great celestial ocean, waves peaking in a graceful liaison to rendezvous with oblivion. Violent mandates by the hands of fate, cosmic bodies penetrating the great divide, brief encounters dictated by constellations, passing always through infinite space. Aligning galaxies forever rising, growing, inflating, expanding, straining, changing, longing, folding, pulsing, captivating, engulfing, enveloping, and merging. Light both shining and shimmering, beating with the heart of the Milky Way's bosom. As glittering sand passes through glass, the predestined moment draws near. Dim light reflecting in morning dew, coupled with sweet honeysuckle's scent,
All creation, plants, birds, and animals await the consummation with bated anticipation. Fear, anger, sadness, joy, love, and hope coalesce and cascade, dissolving regret. Mother Nature's tides swell and ground trembles, howling, quaking, relaxing, then growing silent. Phoenix, soaring, penetrating heat embracing, a convulsing symphony of dancing light, then breaking into a final crescendo, synchronously undulating and exploding, connecting with ancient generations long past, shooting far across the distant night sky. Gentle rush filling every empty recess, every void with a comforting warm glow. Destiny blazes a bright future, supernova. Although she timidly sheds tears, these are not the tears of sorrow, but of pure, passionate, climactic joy. Weeping through unbridled ecstasy, angels triumphantly herald a new generation, permeating hope withstanding now, rest with the glorious birth of a new star. 1,000 lit golden shafts, all taut pointing to the heavens, forever now silenced in vacuum, anonymity broken as distant worlds collide. Angelic right wings of fascist obsession, demonic left wings of capitalist addiction, golden bleeding hearts of communist compassion, relics of the corrupt prefects are now swept aside. Light, dark, earth, wind, water, fire, evil, holy order, union, division, chaos, and oblivion. These precepts are but the constructs of man. New generations must now forge tomorrow. This is not an end. Energy can be neither created, nor can energy be destroyed, simply a bright, new beginning.
Alright, Jill. Long time no speak. How are you? Not happy. What's up with you? Is the missus giving you a hard time? No, it's not that. Do you remember me telling you about that mouse? Oh, the one you had in your tool shed? Aye, that one. Yeah, I remember. Well, I couldn't get rid of it. So, I decided to get a cat. Right. So I bring this cat home with me. And my wife sees me with it. And she goes, Jim, you ain't just got a cat to kill that bleeding mouse, have you? And I says, no. So she says, well, what's it called then? And I couldn't think of a name quick enough, so I says, it's Jack. Which is a bleeding stupid name for a cat. Anyway, I put the cat in the shed and I locked the door. I think to myself, by the time I get home, this cat better have killed that mouse. And did it? I get home and I open the shed door and it feels like Christmas because the first thing I see is a dead mouse right in the middle of the floor. Oh, good. No, but you see, I get closer and I notice it's as flat as a pancake. And it's lying there in this huge puddle of blood. But it's not just there. There's blood all over the wall, blood all over the window. Looks like it's been attacked by a bleeding serial killer. Jesus. So I look up, and there's the cat, sitting on my top shelf, fast asleep. He's only gonna knock me bloody sledgehammer off the shelf. So, your cat killed the mouse with a sledgehammer? Aye. Anyway, I decided to keep the cat, and I think I will call it Jack. Jack the fucking Ripper.
Undi kuulena ja rüümorin. Kanta soremiinkä himehakanga totas. Voi vai aika. Jugaroja. Haha. Jugaroja. Kanti soritiime. Horgiitiime kahdesi. Loi mikä hasi. Kaprapiita makanoihin. Eikä koroihin. Voi. Jonka namai. Guabra. Higar. Kiriho. Joo. Sekähän minä rahoi. Ojo hora. Haemaa.
El paper d'expert i les algunes preses. Com més millor. Perdeu. Perdeu el perdó, la remissió i la dolçor, els colors de la mel, la blancor de les deesses, les verdes amèriques, els jocs dels adorats, la potència dels amants i les guerres pretèriques. Perdeu. Perdeu la pau dels oceans, els vaig pel món, el llum dels malalts, la perspectiva dels nans, la pulverulència dels rocs, els imants de la vida. I els trànsits dels brots, perdeu l'ombra dels arbres, els malsons dels marrans, les notes guissons, i les presons escardades per balades bastardes, per tulipes amargues, per pilons aeroplans, per les esperances dels derrogats, voltats de lluces, pets i llacs. Oh, malaurants els desemparats. Perdeu l'enderrot dels egoistes, la joia dels infants, els cops amagats, els contes cruels, les mossaines capil·lars, els inferns dels violents i els paradisos terrenals. Perdeu per tot, perdeu arreu, sobretot, perdeu sobretot. Perdeu la neu i el lloc, la pluja i el sol, mars i muntanyes, ronyons i trombons, veus i ulls, potes i balles, parts i esculls. Passat pàgina i la guerra i la terra, propòsits i banyes, el tràfic d'esclaus per vergonya d'Espanya. Perdeu la fusta, les guitarres i el sol. Perdeu els metalls, l'electricitat i els records. Perdeu l'odi, la ràbia i el nord. Perdeu el sud, la nàusea i els pols, la tristesa i la fugida, l'arribada i la trobada, el mal viatge i el mapa luminosos, la torxa cremada i la ciutat devastada, el viatge impossible i l'afrontament fort de la conxorxa enxampada, unió, d'alta forta i budells de cor. Quin viatge, quina cremor, gran quillol, tiramolls de forcor. Perdeu l'home lògic i el camí interior, la ressemblança increïble, el policia i el professor, com la carn se s'inicia mentre puja el sensor. Imitar el presentador d'aquell televisor. Perdeu la màscara, l'ego i el rebot. Perdeu tot. Perdeu l'esmorzar dels pobres, el ball de les mosques, el salt dels culs, les psicoanalistes tosques i l'agonia als taüts colorits de rucs. Danes i julianes, i blanques, i clares, i ots, i lizards, i joans, i marcs, patènticos, jocs, improbables farts, que l'homenatge a la maternitat, o bé que l'homenatge a la llibertat, el prestatge legal, el dels desemparats. Julieta i Romeu i Julieta, el nom d'Orfeu, termes i samareta, tireu-me què feu, a les termes, a les fascetes, perdeu-me, Déu meu, perdeu-nos, foteu-nos, mengeu-nos, rebeu. Perdeu polls amb rolls, colls, polles i collons,
Mugrons corporis, olles i polls, carros, marros i torrons, verges i princelles, velles cantarelles i l'honor del roig. Perdeu el blau, el negre i el groc, el que cau a les mans de les pells tibants, les cuixes i els culs, gestos obscens, impulsos rebels, desastres beguts de la gran nau de l'inconscient, plantat de maduixes i de faculs de tracient. Per un, de pixons i de flors, cavall vell. A fe de Déu, ovini, que fort que bufa el vell. Perdeu l'aristocràcia i els rics, els obrers alienats i els oblits, els llavis, els burgesos i els manics amanits en pebre i uns quants tics propis de grellers fins, entesos en vins, en ferrallers dels esperits que distingeixen els cretins, no per als paladins. Perdeu el bé, perdeu el mal, el pètal d'or i el primer tresor, les bruixes amigues i les visions fatals. Perdeu els quartets i els versos apariats, els sonets entremaliats i les copulacions animals de mil filles i filles, cadites i refranys, de fanys eremites, de rams i oratoris, savis i plorants, d'enganys i penjats als bancs respiratoris i als estancs d'Ushimana. Els geòlegs pagans són fora dels laboratoris. Perdeu el zel esboronat d'estranys musulmans, jueus i cristians, que la malmenada no s'acarà, ni les fites importants, ni la calúnia ni el brot, ni avis ni besavis, ni el sentit del so, ni el fel, el zel ni el mar, ni el medi ni el rat, ni el suspect, ni el rot, ni el pot, ni tampoc el lloc enxampat als camps entrellats per virtut del tro o de la solitud de la por. Perdeu tots els que no estan preparats per fer del ral una composició sense exterior sobre l'holocaust del casador. Perdeu en tendresa el buit de la puresa, la profunditat de l'astral tapada de sang, la potella i l'odissea, el que pot en la molesa, l'àngel que queia i el vi és seu. Perdeu fals i el príncep tenebrós, l'humany caus i el festejador, la mala herba i l'ortopèdia, el pensament fix i l'esquitx i l'histèria, la mirada de l'esquiu i l'escret de multimèdia, el risc de la metge i el politeig pel matí que el nivell del pasquís, just aquest, el precís, com el sonat de la petja i el foc de les nits. Perdeu fica fi, sí o sí, Romeu i Julieta, no us n'aneu sense mi. No em deixeu cremat aquí com el que es descriu del temps esparverat, del cap de l'erós, de l'entrevall del gos, vora el riu l'estiu, amb la luna i la tortuga, entre l'aventura i la natura, enllà de l'usura i fins de la cura de l'artista, atlètiques, melodistes, cames de jugueu de la genètica escultura. Perdeu el tot de la tort i adret, el dissociat i el fictici, la conversió verda, el nínxol i el caprici, l'extraversió ferma i el món del desvici, el no-resto d'estreta i l'observació perfecta. L'orgasme dels fons i la solitud del nou nom, l'espasme de l'espectre, el pensament recte, el decòrum del declivi de l'erasme del navili, perdeu, Romeu, perdeu, Julieta, perquè sense vosaltres, a nosaltres, els altres, perdem la luneta, a la cola fosqueta, a l'intermeta del desastre, on tothom menja cor.
Bound by violent mandates in the hands of fate, these brief encounters are dictated by constellations, forever cosmic bodies penetrating and pairing mate, passing always through infinite transmigrations. Rippling light both shining and brass, centered in throbbing Milky Way's heart, as glittering sand passes through hourglass, cast in roles the actors prepare to play their part. Aligning planets forever orbiting, growing, inflating, expanding, straining, rising, longing, bulging, pulsing, captivating, conforming, and merging. Lost worlds cast in a sea of stars, drifting amongst a great celestial ocean, waves peaking in a graceful charge, mysterious rendezvous set in motion, silhouettes reflecting in morning dew, coupled with sweet honeysuckle scent. All creation, plants, birds, and animals new, timidly wait consummation with bated pent. Phoenix, soaring, penetrating heat, embracing, a convulsing symphony of dancing light, then breaking into rhythmic crescendo chasing, synchronously undulating and exploding bright. Fear, anger, sadness, joy, love, and hope coalesce and cascade, dissolving regrets. Supernova, destiny blazes a new future tonight, her head held low, though not from shame or duress, and eyes wet with timid tears obstructing her sight, bestow a pure, passionate, climactic express. Weeping through unbridled ecstasy coy, angels trumpet in jubilation near and far, permeating, hope withstanding, now joy rests with the glorious birth of a new star, connecting with ancient generations long past. A steady, gentle rush fills all empty recesses, shooting far from the distant night mass, every void with a comforting warm blesses. Magnificent Apollo roulette rolls 13, his chariot led by 4 virile, charging horses panted. Bow down, missile plucked from quiver between, exacting vengeance on those taking him for granted. 10,000 lit, erect, golden blooms, all taut, pointing to the heaven abode, forever now silenced in frozen vacuum, anonymous as distant worlds merge and explode. Bold, enchanted, silver-tongued Hermes, unswaying grin, satiric, seductive apple of Aphrodite, unquenching laugh, wispy, crowning halo, fettering Gaia, undeterring sin. Ares' broad bronze sword could not stay Apollo's wrath. Hesitant Mercury was simply not fast enough to dodge. Wavering Venus did not smile smartly enough to compel. Flaming arrows thrust deeply in Terra's mantle to lodge. Brave Mars stricken and sun-kissed as the glowing rain fell. The chiseled image, once recognizable as a woman, remained nameless long after the woman and all who knew the woman had long since vanished. Simply a frozen image of the woman, it did not have the mind of a woman, move as a woman, nor see or feel as only a woman does. Yet this silent image of a woman, through reserved stance and vacant glare, bears witness to the trials the woman faced, now a distant echo from so long ago. This hollow image of the woman, with striking poise and subtle grace, expresses emotions freely, without remorse or reservation, even as a faint shadow of the woman. With heart of stone, this masterpiece now cast aside and forgotten, would remain, without change, forever granted immortality, auspiciously indebted to the woman who inspired her glorious inception. The Virgin Mother rests in eternal stone, laying denuded, raped, and exhausted as a wasted ember. No discrimination of race, creed, or origin shown. Achieving equality, yet no one is left to remember. Angelic right wings of fascist obsession, demonic left wings of capitalist addiction, gilded, bleeding hearts of communist oppression, relics of the corrupt prefects are now contradictions. Dark, light, earth, wind, water, fire, evil, holy order, chaos, union, division, and oblivion. Disregarded abstract constructs leading to man's upheaval. New resolutions now face tomorrow's children. Ancients claim the world was given new life. Through a single phrase calling for the light, they spited their creators with false gods, strife, born of arrogance, now beguiling the betrayer's sight. When able, man dared to open this atomic ark, unleashing awesome power, a god pled. Everything one could ever imagine, so stark. Nothing man needed, now branded Cain's mark. Humanity's hopes and dreams tested, when this proverbial message in a bottle once read, a seductive genie ensnares a man bested, worm-engorged apple of enlightenment instead. This uncorked bottle found washed ashore should have been plugged and abandoned, thrust deep in the fathomless depths tides roar, to never see the light of day threatened. Through the lens of finite understanding, man's albatross securely held by locks of ignorance, these tight fetters chained about his neck unbending, held fast and true as any constrictor's tents. This holy grail has become a Pandora's box, a wellspring of limitless energy, merely a mirage. So many empty promises, simply illusory rocks. Man's inheritance is deceit and deceptive barrage. Man wanted, wished, and lusted to touch the stars. He succeeded in bringing the sun's corona to the earth. Instead of being crowned its king, he lays chained behind bars. This is a time of transition and not an end. It's been proven, energy can neither be created, nor can energy be destroyed or rescinded. This is simply a bright, new beginning belated.
The night has been unruly, so rituals were blown down, and as they say, a mental prince with dragons cut the blood of hands, and using to shine to wonders of hell's resolve, stubborn if they dare. But yes, the place is tempted, and I sit in the listening to the sadness of the and prophesies the road access to lift my lids and I was down take exaltation the stars go waltzing out in blue granite, and arbitrarily the past counselors. I shut my eyes and all the world got dead. I dreamed that you'd bewitch me into bed, and suddenly moonstruck kissed me quite insane. I think I made you a kisses and daggers. Cut up as from the sky as fires fade. Exit seraphim and songs and letters. Shut my eyes. Stop by to flick answers. Turn the dark said. But I grow old. I get your I think I'm trapped inside my breath. I should have had the thunder on instead and lost in spring. Cause they roll back again.
I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead.
I dreamed that you'd bewitched me into bed, and suddenly moonstruck kissed me quite insane. I think I made you up. This is a dagger. Cut up his rings, skies, fires fade. Exit seraphim and sins me at I take it. I fancy I returned away from sex, but I go old and forget your name. I think I bit the back inside my head. Give it back. You should have loved a thunderbird instead. At least these spring copies they were back again. There should my eyes and all the world drops dead. I think I made you up inside my head. When I do that, it's cut the clouds real fast. Till one is on the first, the sedatives approach, ghosts wandering towards their hide. Drugs, spirits, that is my sins on the side of the side. Who's a horses driving ancient stairs and therapy. But the supper is being by without losing I think they mean of distance collapsing by the stairs. Ecstasy, blackness, daggers. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. New hydrogen is the legend of the soul. Exit seraphim and Satan's men. Take your what is this all the world drops taken? I fancy you'd return the way you said. But I grow old and forget your take it. That is what I say. Take it. That is what I say. Instead of this spring campus they go back. Tread it. Taxation sense of your feet. Drops dead. I think I give it to a surface like a traffic. Is this a dagger? Is it behind me? I guess go towards me. Who's a place that is all nothing but them. But the supper is teaching and I simply listen for magic. Something crazy. Strange components of dance cut the cards from the stairs and access terrors of Dionysos of huge ghosts wandering here and there. New arch to the whole franchise of spirits. Continental's wings and funds have buried. Safe to their warming business of grace did shake. The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, do follow and follow. Prince of dragons cut the blood to the hands like kings and tyrants. Who's of hell's the resolve, stepping if they dare. But death supplies it from simple listening, silence
el paper d'expert i les algunes preses. Com més millor, perdeu el perdó, la remissió i la dolçor, els colors de la mel, la blancor de les deesses, les verdes amèriques, els jocs dels enamorats, la potència dels amants i les guerres pretèriques. Perdeu la pau dels oceans, els banys pel món, el llum dels malalts, la perspectiva dels nais, la pulverulència dels rocs, els imants de la vida i els trànsits dels rocs. Perdeu l'ombra dels arbres, els malsons dels marrans, les notes guissons i les presons descarregades per balades bastardes, per tulipes amargues, per pilons aeroplans, per les esperances dels derrotats, portats de lluces, pets i llars. Oh, malaurants en els desemparats! Perdeu l'enderrot dels egoistes, la joia dels infants, els cops amagats, els contes cruels, les moixaines trepidants, els inferns més violents i els paradisos terrenals. Perdeu per tot, perdeu arreu, sobretot, perdeu sobretot. Perdeu la neu i el lloc, la pluja i el sol, mars i muntanyes, ronyons i pulmons, veus i ulls, potes i balles, parts i esculls. Passat pàgina és la guerra i la terra, propòsits i banyes de tràfic d'esclaus per vergonya d'Espanya. Perdeu la fusta, les guitarres i els sons. Perdeu els metalls, l'electricitat i els records. Perdeu l'odi, la ràbia i el nord. Perdeu el sud, la nàusea i els pocs, la tristesa i la fugida, l'arribada i l'aturada, el mal viatge i el mapa d'hipnosis, la torxa cremada i la ciutat devastada, el viatge impossible i l'afrontament fort de la conxorxa encantada, unió, calça forta i budells de cor. Quin viatge, quina cremor, gran quiniol, tiramolls de furcó. Perdeu l'home lògic i el camí interior, la ressemblança increïble, el policia i el professor, que americani se s'inicia mentre puja el sensor, imitar el presentador d'aquell televisor. Perdeu la màscara, l'ego i el rebot. Perdeu tot. Perdeu l'esmorzar dels pobres, el ball de les mosques, el salt dels culs, les psicoanalistes tosques i l'agonia als taüts colorits de rucs. Danes i julianes, i blanques, i clares, i ocs, i lizards, i joans, i marcs, patènticos, d'ocs, improbables fars, que homenatge a l'eternitat, o bé que hostatge a la llibertat, el prestatge legal, el dels desemparats. Julieta i Romeu i Julieta, el nom d'Orfeu, termes i samareta, digueu el que feu, a les termes, a la fresqueta, cargueu-la, Déu meu, cargueu-los, foteu-los, mengeu-los, rebeu. Perdeu ponts amb rons, colls, polles i collons, mugrons cofolls, olles i polls, tarros, marros i torrons, verges i conselles, velles cantarelles i l'honor del roig. Perdeu el blau, el negre i el groc, el que cau a les mans de les pells i balls, les cuixes i els culs, gestos obscens, impulsos i rebels, desastres beguts de la gran nau de l'inconscient, plantat de maduixes i gepaculs en l'accient. Ferum, de pixons i de furs, cavall vell. A fe de Déu, ovill, que fort que bufa el vell. Perdeu l'aristocràcia i els rics, els obrers alienats i els oblits, els geris, els burgesos i els manics amanits en pebre i uns quants tics propis de grellers fins, entesos en vins, en ferrallers dels esperits que distingeixen els cretins, no per als paladins. Perdeu el bé, Perdeu el mal, el fet al dol i el primer tresor, les bruixes amigues i les visions fatals. Perdeu els quartets i els versos apariats, els sonets entremaliats i les copulacions de l'onal, de mil figues i figues, cadipes i refrany, de fans eremites, de rams i oratoris, savis i plurals, delirants i penjats als bancs respiratoris i als estants d'Ushimana. Els geòlegs pagans són fora dels laboratoris. Perdeu el zel esborronat d'estranys musulmans, jueus i cristians, que la malmelada no s'ha acabat, ni les fites importants, ni la calúnia ni el brot, ni avis ni besavis, ni el sentit del sol, ni el fel, el zero i el mar, ni el medi ni el rat, ni el suspect, ni el rol, ni el pot, ni tampoc el lloc enxampat als camps entrellats per virtut del tro o de la solitud de la por. Perdeu tots els que no estan preparats per fer del ral una composició sense exterior sobre l'holocaust del casador. Perdeu en tendresa el buit de la puresa, la conformitat de l'astral tapada de sang, la potella i l'odissea, el que pot en la noesa, l'àngel que queia i el vi és seu. Perdeu Faust i el príncep tenebrós, l'humà incaus i el festejador, la mala herba i l'ortopèdia, el pensament fix i l'esquitx i l'història, la mirada de l'esquiu i l'escret de la comèdia, el risc de la metge i el politeig pel matí que li deia el pastís, just aquest, el precís, com el solat de la petja i el foc de les nits. Perdeu Picafí, sí o sí, Romeu i Julieta, no us n'aneu sense mi. No em deixeu cremat aquí com el que es descriu del tantet disperbarat, del pes de l'erós, de l'entrevall del gos, vora el riu l'estiu, amb la luna de tortuga, contra l'aventura i la natura, enllà de l'usura i fins de la cura de l'alfissa, atlètiques, belladices, cames de Ginebra de la genètica escultura. Perdeu el tot de la tort i a dret, el dissociat i el fictici, la conversió ferma, el nínxol i el caprici, l'extraversió ferma i el món del desvici, el no-resto d'estreta i l'observació perfecta, l'orgasme que respon i la solitud del mal nom, l'espasme de l'espectre, el funcionament recte, el decòrum del declivi de l'erasme del labirinti i perdeu, Romeu, perdeu, Julieta, perquè sense vosaltres, nosaltres, els altres, perdem la luneta, a la cova fosqueta, a l'illa neta del desastre, on tothom menja col,